Hey, good morning. Chuck here with Apple Drains. You know, we're down here in South Florida. We're over here on the west coast, the Gulf side. A few days after Irma has passed, we're trying our best to keep up with all the calls and all the flooding that took place. And here we are in Spring Hill, Florida. Got hit pretty hard. The eye passed right over top of here. And anyways, let's take a look at what they've got going on. So let's start right here in the front. This is a typical design of many Florida homes. You can see the front door. They've got, a living area here, the formal area, and then they have a garage out here. And you can see they've got a gutter on the garage. There's a splash guard there up on the roof. That's because so much water pours down into this area. What's happening is during heavy rainfalls, not just a hurricane, but heavy rainfalls, water floods into this little courtyard that I'm walking through behind these Hawthorns. And it's rising up through the floor and getting the floor wet inside. They have a lot of stress cracks here. I'll show you more in a second. This is a stress crack. You can see it. That means there's a lot of movement on this wall. So we're going to be sealing the walls here with our liquid rubber, putting in the footer pipe, which is gravel perforated pipe. We're actually using easy flow. Same thing on this side. This is a master bedroom. Water coming up through that foundation and into the floor, which is hardwood floor there. So they've got lots of problems with that. This is the worst side. You can actually see the mildew and mold along the wall itself. We're going to be doing that here, starting at the corner, trenching this whole area all through here and cleaning off the footer and the wall, sealing that with our liquid rubber, Blackjack number 57, and then we'll install the footer pipe, which is gravel perforated pipe, all encased in fabric. That will help keep that water, as it rises up, it'll help keep that water from coming into the foundation. They're on a hill, believe it or not. Spring Hill, Florida. Easy discharge to daylight right over the side. Back here in the back, they've got the enclosed pool. We call this a lanai, screened in area. No real problems here, which is good. Channel drain, micro channel drain, you can see it. It discharges right here, and they do have a problem inside this wall. So we'll start there actually and come around. We'll hook the downspouts up separate, send them out over the hill. You can see the stress cracks here. I'm right by the pool pump, so it's a little bit loud, but you can see the stress cracks as they come up through this wall. They're throughout the entire block wall, all through here. A lot of movement going on here. So the big problem here is the concrete curb. This contains water, and you can see a downspout. All this roof water just pours into this area. It cannot escape. It's a very slow process to go back underground, and what it does is it goes right back up on that foundation and causes a problem. So if you're going to put, this is really nice, have a nice shell, keep the weeds back, things like that. If you're going to put an edging around, be sure you have some type of drainage in this type of an area. So I'm actually down here a day early doing some prep work, and what I've got to do is pull out these Indian hawthorns, and you can see they're right along the area where we want to set soil. They're in our way, and this is not an easy task, very arduous task to dig up the roots and pull these plants. These have been in here for about 10 to 15 years. They're very established. Pull them all up around and over on that side as well. These are things that you as the homeowner, if you're going to contract someone to do your labor, to do your work, do some of the labor. Pull these shrubs out of the way. Save some money. You'll save a lot. So again, you can save a great deal of money by doing some of the labor yourself if you're able to do it. This is not an easy task to do. You need something to haul it off with, or if you have a trash pickup that will haul it away, terrific. But it is a very arduous job. That's the word of the day, arduous. We'll put that at the end of the video. Okay, so I've removed all of the shrubs, the Indian hawthorns, all the way around the perimeter, this side as well. What a task. Those roots are big and thick and deep. And I also explored the footer to see, what's going on there, to make sure everything's going to work properly. And you can see it real well right here. Let's take a look. This is actually what we call overpour, a very bad pour of a footer. The footer is underneath of this, and it's right there. Can you see my finger? It's right there. So we're going to have to trench. I'll show you another spot, but they did this all over the entire exterior perimeter of the footer. We're going to trench out here, and we'll put our easy flow or our gravel perforated pipe, what we call footer pipe, at this side of this trench. And we'll seal this up to about right here is the floor. So we're going to seal it all the way up to the floor, and that should work really well. And again, we're on a hill. You can see the hill. We'll just discharge just to the other side of the hill as long as it runs downhill and we discharge to daylight. However, remember, this pipe runs level. It sits right at the top of our pipe is actually going to be about right here. So you can see a couple of fingers above this footer and then a couple of fingers below, because we don't want to be below the actual bottom of the footer, but we want to be right alongside the footer. So again, I explored the footer again to make sure that it was the same on all sides, and you can see the overpour. Okay, this is not footer, it's just excess concrete. But back under here, I don't know if you can see it in the camera or not, there's the footer. Can you see it? And you see that tree root growing through underneath of the footer right there? The footer is actually below that. So again, our trench, sprinkler is going to have to get pulled, and our trench is going to sit right here as it comes around, you know, the corner and whatnot. And that's going to collect the water as the groundwater rises into that system, goes through the gravel or the styrofoam into the pipe, and is carried away. This one is going to discharge down the garage wall, and there's a sidewalk. So while I'm here still doing the prep work, let's go ahead and tunnel the sidewalk and give you a real quick tutorial on that. So to tunnel any sidewalk, you just need a couple of tools. You need a regular, spade shovel. This is an 8-inch wide shovel, and then what we call a sharpshooter shovel. It's 16 inches long, maybe 14 inches long, and 6 inches wide. What we do is we start a trench that's long enough that we're able to put this shovel in the trench. Next, we're going to use our big shovel and dig as far as we can with the big shovel. And the way we do that is you take some off the bottom, you pull that out, and then you scrape the top right there at the top and just pry it loose, and you'll go right through this. Let me set the camera up and you can take a look. Okay, so what I do is I take the shovel and I scrape right at the top. This is with a large shovel. Come back up under, pry it up, set it out, and we'll get through here in just a matter of minutes, because this has got a nice sand base. It's really easy. Something you guys can do yourselves. Again, if you just want to do a piece of your job, save some money. I'm hoping you can see all this. If you remember, on the other side, there was actually a sprinkler. So I'm just coming on this side real quick. And you can see how much I get out. Just a little at a time, that's fine. I know I'm getting right through there. I'm almost halfway through, maybe a little bit more. I'm running out of room with the shovel because it's hitting right up on the top of that. So now we're going to switch over to what we call the sharpshooter. And this one goes even faster. We just hit the top, and then we come back. Oops, I'm sitting on a rock. And we pull it out. It's quick. I'm almost through. So again, really good projects for the do-it-yourselfer, and a lot of satisfaction when you complete one of these tasks, because it really is not that hard to do. It's a lot of labor. I'm going right through already. It's a lot of labor, but labor's not cheap anymore, especially when you have a specialist that's coming out to do your work. It's kind of like a surgery. Sometimes I'll get people ask me, well, boy, that's a lot of money. You know, maybe it's $5,000, $6,000. And my reply is, you know, if you have your gallbladder removed, do you question the price? Because, you know, you're getting what you pay for. And, you know, we do a great job where you don't have to see us again unless you have another problem or you move, sell your house, and want to do it again. Okay, so I'm clear through. Let's take a look. Let's take a look with the camera, and you can see we've got a nice hole that goes all the way through. I hope you can see that. I'm using this phone instead of my GoPro, so a little different. But here's the other side. Remember, we had an irrigation line right here, but you can see the hole comes all the way through. Perfect hole. That's 5-inch wide hole, maybe 6. Our pipe will slide right through there. Total time since I started the camera, 3 minutes. Hey, this is Chuck with Apple Drains, reminding you that if you believe you can do something, I guarantee you can do it. Have a great day.